Welcome everyone to the Swine Brothers Show, episode 104 for the 20th of August, 2016. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can email us at ellindamood@gmail.com. Facebook is Swine Brothers and Twitter is SwineBro666. And all the links will finally be on our videos, which I should have been doing months ago, but I'm an idiot. I am your host, Ellindamood, and my co-host is, as always...
I am the Jim, and I just want to fucking butcher something.
You got a new headset. It sounds much better.
Yeah. Well, they always fucking fall apart, so fuck them.
No Chaz today, at least not for a while. As well, if you aren't watching live, it's kind of mid-afternoon Saturday where I am, because Jim had a bit of a headset problem on last show, so we couldn't do it Friday.
Yeah.
So Chaz isn't here, but he might be. I don't know. Who cares?
Yeah.
So let's. Where do you want to start off?
Well, it's up to you. You want to do the review now?
Yeah, let's do the review now. Why not? So last Friday, Jim had me do the Metallica self-titled album review.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, there are a lot of albums that are going to be 30 years old or are 30 years old this year. Just to name a couple, and Jim could say yay or nay. Morbid Visions,
Mm-hmm.
the first Morbid Angel album, although it wasn't released until 91. It was recorded in 86. Pleasure to Kill, Rain and Blood.
Oh, yeah.
Master of Puppets.
Yep.
The first Necrophagia album, and a couple demos by the band Death. And one of them that was 30 years old is a record that Jim loves, and then I've had a kind of a love-hate relationship with, and that would be Peace Sells by Megadeth. And I know Jim's about to kill me for that, but whatever.
Yes, you'll be sodomized to the meat hook.
Oh, also Convicted by Cryptic Slaughter and Darkness Descends. And we'll get to a lot of those albums by the end of the year, I think, because this is fun enough to do again. So I have kind of a love-hate, and I'll explain why. I love Killing Is My Business because it's rabid, it's thrashy, and yet it has some technicality. But when I heard Peace Sells for the first time, I was in the mood for Pleasure to Kill by Creator. I was in the mood for really violent, almost death metal thrash. And it's not really that fast, that album.
Don't agree with it.
So I was kind of meh, and Dave's vocals took a lot of getting used to. But I've re-listened to it again, and I've come to like it.
I mean, pretty much, this is an album you want to crank on if you want to have a fucking few beers, smoke a bong, fucking lick a clit, whatever. This is party music.
Well, I was sober and not in a sexual mood, so I was listening. Of course, I have the original version, which I found for Jim.
Yes, and as with everything I've heard them redo with Megadeth, go for the original version.
Well, they didn't redo it; they just remastered it, and they
fucked up the remaster.
Yeah, completely. And re-recorded some parts that apparently he didn't like or whatever, but basically just some guitar intros and stuff. But I like the original better. We should do Rest in Peace one of these days too.
Mm-hmm.
But shall we start with the first track?
Mm-hmm.
And that would be Wake Up Dead. Nice little intro.
Mm-hmm. Starts with a fun little riff, then breaks into something dirty and fairly raw. Gives a good romance.
Okay.
Or perhaps just a strip tease with appendages flapping as you convulse lustfully. This is a good song to keep some humping rhythm to, speeding up and slowing down at just the right times to keep the sensation alive while thrusting just right.
The first track I ever heard that was mostly instrumental with only a few lines of lyrics. I really like the slow part where the riffs get all weird and sideways and then really odd. I think it's Dave's solo. Of course, this is Mustaine, Poland, Samuelson, and Ellefson. This is, in my opinion, the classic lineup.
Mm-hmm.
Even more so than Friedman and Menza, because you have to remember they did Cryptic Writings.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really interesting kind of journey, and I always like Dave's riffing, his kind of sideways, weird style riff. That's almost it's about as complex as a solo.
Yeah.
I always liked his. It's a good way to open an album. Even back, when I didn't really care for this, I still liked the song because it was just. It wasn't fast, but it was just it was a nice metal song.
Yeah. And I also like the way the fucking solos mesh for that little war in the head kind of thing.
You have the more jazzy, I guess, jazzy smoothness of Poland and the rabidness of Mustaine, because Mustaine was 25-year-old drug dealing, you know. Next is the Conjuring. Okay, one of us just died. Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Stop doing whatever you're doing.
I have no idea what the fuck happened.
You died.
It said authentication issues.
Oh, yeah, that happens. Do you have anything to add more on this song?
Not that I can think of. And I don't
Okay.
know until it was cut out, so.
Next is the Conjuring.
Yeah, the Conjuring's intro just goes, it makes this attempt for a complete desolation, but it picks up the tempo a tad, like being chased or doing the chasing. Before it goes into what you think of as 80s thrash, it's just that fucking visceral image. This is 80s thrash. Fuck you.
I think it's one of the best songs on the album. It's very occult inspired, and that's why Mustaine, until recently, refused to play it live because, as we all know, one of the saddest descents in rock history is with what became of Dave Mustaine.
Yay. I mean, the song's mostly rinse and repeat, but it's like how you use the spin cycle to wet some panties.
Yeah,
And there's a nice part there that makes you just lust for the blood to summon a devil or two. Just back to thrash. Beautiful to hold. Consistency and coherence. Blending of riffs is just seamless.
Dave's vocals took a lot for me to get used to. I didn't mind them on Killing Is My Business, but for some reason on this one they just grated on me. Of course, now I think they're kind of a part of the music. He's shall we say, unique interpretation of vocalism.
Yeah.
Two cats fucking. Yeah, it's the drums I think really add a lot of interest. They're a lot more restrained than they were on Killing My Business, but they still have that jazz inspiredness to them. Like you can actually hear the bass too. That's something you don't always get. Yes, it sounds very 80s thrash, and I like 80s thrash.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have anything else to add.
No, I got nothing to add. Let's go on to Peace Sells.
Wait a minute, I don't believe in God. But, yes, and now he's a Christian. This song actually took a lot for me just because it starts out so basic. It starts out so, well, not bad, but it just starts out so like,
I mean, the first part is just fucking pure angst. Like a teenager almost totally grown up. Pissed off that the system still sucks now that you gotta have a job to support a family kind of shit.
Well, support himself.
Either or, you're at least a bit more adult than, just getting out of high school, but then at the same time, you're not quite there yet.
Yeah, it kind of shows its age, but still, he knew what was up, sort of.
I mean, the first part just ends this descent into madness, slowly building for the finale. Then you just snap. It's time to kill. Fuck these fuckers. Just one thought ripping through your primitive mind as you wage war against an ill-defined entities and care not. Just make the blood flow like rivers.
Probably their most known song, thanks to MTV News.
And Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
I like it. It was always one of my favorite songs. Even I mean, it's kind of simplistic, but it's effective.
Mm-hmm.
Next song is what's the next song?
Devil's Island.
I gotta admit, I love the intro of this.
And the whole thing just screams party riffs.
I love the intro, though. The intro sounds kind of evil.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as I listened to it, all I could see is a few kids getting scarred up, skateboarding, performing tricks that are well beyond their fucking capabilities, fall flat on their face, bleeding, while I slam back some 151, pot smoke hitting your lungs like hellfire. All it's missing is just finding that corner of the yard to piss in, preferably not the part you intend to black out and pass out in.
Although sometimes that's happened.
Yes.
I gotta admit, this song does less for me than the first three. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just I find it a little bit repetitive.
It is repetitive, but it is just like I said, a party kind of anthem kind of thing where you just want to fucking get blasted with a group of people and say fuck everything, pass it here.
It's about this time that I started thinking, wouldn't it be great if we actually had some like speed metal riffs and some speed? Because it's not been a bad album, but it's not really a fast album. It's like Killing Is My Business is a fast album. So I started thinking, wouldn't it be, that's what I like about this album. As soon as I started thinking, wouldn't it be great if we did this? It does it. The next song is
Black Friday.
I thought the intro was kind of cool and depressing, and I thought they could have done something with it, but then they went into something else. But I still like it.
Well, the whole thing is, I saw it was trying for like one of those depressing intros. Then it slowly corrupts it into a stirring of consciousness. Before you know it, you just want to contemplate your situation, staring down at your cup. It kicks up the drive to continue on, making the reflection more chaotic and messy. You're sick of yourself and the world. But then the next riff kicks it up even further, and now you just want to fight the fates themselves, sickened into pure action. You'd rather spit your last breath in their faces than accept things.
Some really good solos in this one, and fuck. I need to clean out these cans. Some very good riffs. It's there's not much you can say about Mustaine's riff work because it just kind of speaks for itself. I mean, the guy was a guitar god.
At one point in his life.
He can still play. That's the sad thing. He can still shred and play. He would rather play, alt rock or whatever. Actually, okay, Dystopia I liked, but don't ruin it. The next song is
Black Omen.
Bad Omen. This song, the intro kind of annoyed me because it went nowhere and it was just weird, like off time things. I'm just like, okay, can we actually get some cohesion? And just as I started thinking, this song's okay, then it shifts into fast mode and my head starts moving. And but just as I start thinking, okay, this is okay, but wouldn't it be great? Oh, we're going fast now.
Yeah, Bad Omen just tries for that eerie sound before giving into its true intentions of like forcing its will on you. It's kind of like one of those kids trying to act all brooding, but then snaps into a barely intelligible rant that somehow makes sense, yet you can't think of why. The ranting stops just for a brief moment before it kicks in. The solos kick in and the war in the kid's head spills out even more violently than before. It's a complete dump of the mind, fragmented by his own experiences.
It's probably you at some point in time.
This just reminds me of people I partied with, myself included, just going blah 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 blah, and then I stabbed them. What?
No, but like at first you're all brooding and man, life sucks, and then you're like, yeah, I quite like this song actually.
Yeah, and then there was this time that like we fucking found this fucking rodent outside, and we like fucking started dissecting it while it was still living, watching its organs work in real time, and fucking just being real curious, tweaking here and there, listening to it screech, seeing which organs caused which pain before they stopped functioning, and then we just fucking splayed it out all over the place. Could then dumped it into a pile of dog shit so that no one would notice that we dissected an animal.
The Swine Brothers Show does not condone dissection of animals. Humans, yes.
There we go. See, you're supposed to start off with torturing the animals to work your apathy up.
Nah, I just went straight to torturing humans. That's how cool I am. I don't know, because I like animals. Animals didn't do anything to me. Animals, are petable, and humans.
They're also edible.
And
until you bury them into a fucking pile of dog shit, then you really don't want to eat them.
No, but some dogs.
And I'm talking a giant mound that fucking goes up about 2.5, 3 feet off the ground, just because they've been picking it up for years and putting it in the same spot.
I know some dogs would have a field day with that. Next is a song that, I like it for the humor, but I Ain't Superstitious. And
it's a cover.
It's a cover of a Willie Dixon song, I believe. They put it on the album basically to confuse people, kind of like These Boots for the first album. Like, wait, why would a thrash metal band do a cover of? Say it's the same thing. Why would a thrash metal band do a cover of a blues song?
I mean, it slows things down and gives you time to collect yourself, but really, there's not much there.
No, I mean, the joke was it was supposed to kind of slow things down and then go into the thrash, which it kind of does, but I just don't think it was done very well.
Nah.
I kind of like the slower stuff better than the thrash stuff, because the thrash stuff just seems more chaos for the sake of chaos, whereas the slow stuff is actually kind of decent.
Yeah.
Some good riffs. And then the last one, which we're actually divided on, because I think it's one of the better tracks, and you don't, because you're wrong.
Oh, my last words is just kind of okay in my opinion. And it's mostly coming from the fact that after the lineup of everything before I Ain't Superstitious, it was just fucking so killer. And I listened to it and I could tell they're trying to capture the thrill of gambling your life. Fucking here, fucking roll the chamber, let's go. But ultimately, it's just too bright and fluffy to succeed at that. The intro does a better job setting this up, but it doesn't really follow through. It just falls apart and leaves you with yet another breather track right at the end.
See, for me, I didn't really pay attention to the lyrics until Jim mentioned it, then I looked it up. But for me, it was exactly what I wanted and needed. I thought, it would be great if we could end on a nice speeder. Because I like speed. I like the tempo, not the drug. I've never. I thought, wouldn't it be great to, end on a nice speeder? It doesn't have to be the deepest, but it's just a nice speed metal track. It's it does what it sets out to do, which is go fast for a while, and some good melodies.
Well, the thing is, it doesn't push it into the territory of saying either simply just fuck it, and you just do it to do it, and it doesn't even push that pure exhilaration. It doesn't put it into pure joyous mode. It's a happy riff that doesn't push it into a realm where it's defined as a rush. It's just kind of hi, happy, joy.
Yeah, but I think that would be a cool way to die. Hi, how you doing? Oh.
I mean, if I were to spin the chamber, I'd be shit talking, drinking, and having a blast because it might be my last. This song just sounds like Beavis is having fun doing the same damn thing, but he's not recognizing the stakes because he's too stupid to realize, hey, you could die doing this, and thus just not getting the rush out of it that you should.
I think my last words would be either meh or you've been watching Swine Brothers. Or, of course, Scott is still a faggot. I think if I wanted like die like that, it'd be the most understated thing in the world. Just like not even like a rush, just like a meh, bye. Just I think that would make a lot. I think that would be a little interesting. Just he's dead. But I mean, overall, it's a good album. I wouldn't say it's my favorite from '86 because you have to understand metal was being pushed into so many different directions in '86. You had the emergence of death metal in '85 and '86. You had crossover thrash. You had, Slayer, which was not really death metal, but I would say virgin. I mean, if you listen to Angel of Death, you can definitely hear some death metal in it. So it was so. And then you also had people like Iron Maiden doing Somewhere in Time a little more, or not somewhere. Was it somewhere? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it was Somewhere in Time. A little more epic structure. So you just had all these disparate directions, and of course, everyone. I think Sodom's Obsessed by Cruelty came out that year too. So and everyone knows what direction I like. I like rabid violence. So I wouldn't call it my favorite, but I'd call it a decent to. I mean, certainly better than Master of Puppets. And I like Master of Puppets.
Yeah, actually, it is.
So I'm not sure if it was a landmark release because it didn't really. If you think about it, did it really further metal's evolution? Not really.
Nah, but it was good nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying everything has to, but what I'm saying is, things like Pleasure to Kill and Rain and Blood and the first Morbid Angel album, Abomination of Desolation, that furthered metal sound. That brought metal closer to its logical conclusion. And is a great album. And Peace Cells wasn't really. I mean, I think Killing Is My Business achieved more of that just because it was so fast for its time, and still a good album. But Peace Cells is good. It's, I mean, it was released on Capitol Records. How weird is that?
Oh, well, onward for fucking music news.
Onward to Victory. Oh, Repulsion's Horrified was recorded in '86. Oh, and the A-side of Napalm Death's Scum. So '86 was a damn good year.
Anyways, Black Pussy's Calgary show cut after outrage over sexist, racist name.
And honestly, I've heard them. Dear God, please stop making music. Not because of your offensive name, but do we really need another stoner rock band?
God, I listened to them, and all I could think of is like all those bands that I wanted to fucking drill a fucking nail in my own skull over that I was forced to listen to at college frat parties back in the day.
Yep, that's pretty much. And I have something to say about this because I'm not going to take the route you think I am, Jim.
Okay. A Calgary music venue has canceled the show after outcry over the band's name. The Portland rock group Black Pussy was scheduled to play a gig at the Palomino on September 17th. The band, just made up of 5 white men, has been accused of sexism and racism simply for the name Black Pussy.
Now, that's stupid. However, you've got to understand, if you have a name that's, shall we say, risque for its time, you're going to get some backlash. I mean, if you don't think, our name is Drowning Children in Acid, everyone's going to love it. So, yeah, you're going to have, it's stupid, but at the same time, all this like, oh my God, it's like, what do you expect, dude?
God, this name is outrageous. Fuck. This would be outrageous in the 1950s. In today's day and age, why is it?
It's still outrageous
Why are we even talking about them?
because the social mores don't change all that much. It's still, oh my god, black pussy. It's racist and sexist. So yes, it
Well,
is
back in the
still.
day, it would have been the fact that it was fucking God. It's just from a different angle. It would have been fucking bitched at because it was promoting sex with black people, which is, back in the fucking day, it was fucking a huge moral taboo. So what's the fucking difference here?
The difference is now it's from the other angle. So, but what I'm saying is, yeah, it still bothers people, and you should expect it, and you should use that to your advantage rather than complain about it.
Yeah. Shortly after the show was announced, feminist arts festival FemWave announced it would be withdrawing all programming from the Palomino. And then they posted, in regards to the recent booking of Black Pussy at the Palomino, Calgary, FemWave will be withdrawing from all programming at the venue for this year's festival. As an organization, as well as individuals, we are really disappointed that the voices of those in the community who are affected by this continue to be marginalized by the Palomino.
And of course, that's idiotic. But like I said, a lot of this seems to me like, what? Wait, I don't, I don't get why they're mad. It's like it doesn't matter why they're mad. The point is that you picked you picked a name that you should have known would cause some offense. It's not offensive, but
see, I don't see how they would have seen it as offensive, but that they're going to ride. Any intelligent band would ride this wave of fucking controversy as fucking self-promotion.
see, I see why it's offensive to these people. I'm not saying it offends me, but I see why it's offensive to these people because unfortunately, I can't hide my head under a rock anymore and go, oh yeah, all the wolves right in the world, because unfortunately I made the horrible decision to start this stupid show. This show's been something of a curse because now I understand why people find things offensive. I don't agree with it, but at least I understand it and I can combat it easily. More easily than, well, why is this offensive? I don't get it. Okay, I get why you find it offensive, and here's why I think you're an idiot.
Yeah, and I think you're an idiot because, God, really, black pussy can have so many meanings.
Yes,
A,
I
B, fucking shit. You're even
well,
taking it in the lewdest, crudest manner. Would that not mean that they're all for the black pussy?
I have a black pussy in my house. His name is Toki. He's some sort of mini panther creature. See what I did there? I reinterpreted it.
Yeah, I can't tell you the number of times I ate my ex-wife out.
Good for you. I don't care.
That was some good black pussy there. Anyway. We have always enjoyed an excellent and supportive working relationship with everyone at the venue, but we will not ignore this.
Too bad.
We will not ignore this. This is war. Wait, what?
Is war.
God. In group, out group mechanics taken right there. We want to exile you because we want you as part of the out group, even though you probably say a bunch of shit we agree with.
I don't think so.
I don't know. We are diligent in our efforts to create safer spaces and listen to folks in the community.
Yay, safe spaces. I do so love safe spaces, as you know.
That's where all the entitled kids go that have no idea how reality works. And once they're confronted with the big dose of reality that not everybody likes you and you're not a special snowflake, there's actually 1,000,000,001 people like you. Fuck.
And then they jump off a cliff.
By continuing to support Black Pussy, the Palomino is not acting in the best interest of all their patrons.
I mean, I know gay people who laugh at the Ranches Brothers, which if you ever heard the Ranches Brothers, all they do is, die, fag, die, or whatever. But they're clearly a joke band.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
And this is like just the fucking most brain dead of fucking stoner rock from God.
Reminds me of Queens of the Stone Age too much, and I don't like Queens of the Stone Age.
I can't even name the bands. I tried purging them from my brain as I was listening to them by drinking more than anyone else. But all the girls were like, ooh, wow, this is great. And all the guys were like, yeah, this is great. And I was like, fuck you. I just sat in their corner brooding, and someone asked me if I had a girlfriend. And I said, I don't remember, because I really didn't. Then I ended up cheating on my girlfriend with that girl.
See, because I know you've listened to music for girls or whatever. I'm not that good. I have to listen to things I like, because if I don't, rage, urge to kill, death. I'm not listening to something. I've snapped at people. Why aren't you listening to death metal? So you're better than I am.
Numerous people have come forward to say the band's name is offensive, and that it makes them and others in their community feel unwelcome and unsafe.
Unsafe.
Hearing the words "black pussy" makes you feel unsafe.
Listening to music makes me feel unsafe because I start looking at the window.
This is written by the Calgary Advocacy Group for the Society for the Advocacy of Safer Spaces on Facebook, in support of FemWave's decision. Safe spaces.
Safe spaces, making basically your enemy stronger.
Mm-hmm. And then one day you're wondering why you're fucking tied to a chair, your eyelids cut off, being force-fed your family.
Well, that's how I like to relax.
Yeah. Anyways, the Palomino says, please be advised that we have officially canceled Black Pussy from our September 17th lineup. We are sorry if any of our supporters, friends, regulars, partners, or peers are disappointed or offended, as that was certainly not our intent. The Palomino has always been a strong supporter of independent music and artists, keeping things exciting, interesting, diverse, and consistent for all personalities that pass through our doors.
So you gotta find someone else to play.
Yeah. The band has been frequently been dogged with controversy. In 2015, over 1,700 people signed a petition pushing for the band to change their name. In response to this latest criticism, the band sent out a sarcastic tweet. Truly inspiring. And I guess it's including one of these fucking quotes. I'm not clicking on it. While some, including Calgary musician Danny Vacan, responded to the cancellation with sarcasm or anger, the move to cancel the show was mostly applauded by Calgary's music community. Pussies. Yeah. Hi, we like being silenced. Just wait till it's your turn.
Yeah, well, I mean, what the problem is they're a stoner rock band playing for mainstream rock people. If I call my band Fetal Juice and wait, that is actually a band. But Fetal Juice plays for the London metalheads. No one cares.
Fuck. What was the name of that Anal Cunt album? Fuck.
It just gets worse.
The one where fucking hell, sensitive fucking shit.
Hitler was a sensitive man. Hitler was a sensitive man. That was It Just Gets Worse.
Okay, that might be it.
I know it's because I've been an Anal Cunt fan.
Oh God, I fucking lost my fucking brain over the years. Shut up. Artists.
You forget that, I know things and you don't.
Artist Kenneth Burima and Darren Young posted messages of support for the Palomino on Facebook. Thank you, Palomino. I know this was a rough one for the lot of us to navigate, but I believe we're together. Join the group. That way you're not part of the out group. Ooh.
I like the
Fuck.
out.
Rejected group.
I like the rejected group.
We're going to come out of this building a stronger, more inclusive community.
No, you're actually excluding people, but whatever.
You just excluded someone. That's the opposite. You're correct. One, that through music we can unite and celebrate respectfully everyone that wants to be a part. You just shit all over someone that wanted to be a part. I am proud of this, to be part of this community that is exclusive, more exclusive than these fucking. Oh God.
Then again, I was never in the music community to unite anyone. I was in the music community because I liked evil sounding music that made people scared.
Good. There is a precedent for a band to change its name after public outcry. In April, Calgary band Viet Cong changed its name to Preoccupations after thousands of people called the musicians out on social media for racism against Vietnamese.
That's just stupid.
Yes. The Viet Cong were an insurgent group that tortured and killed Vietnamese citizens during the Vietnam War.
Yes, we know.
Yeah. We apologize to those who were adversely affected by our former band name. This was never anticipated nor our intent. We are artists and not politicians. We understand that the name reflected pain to some individuals, and we are happy to change it and move on and focus on our music.
You gotta respect the Nazis for one thing, Jim. They don't change.
No, they don't.
They don't. They do what they do, and they're not sorry. I mean, what they do might be, awful, but at least they have, conviction. I mean, I wouldn't change my band's name. I mean, the only way I would change my band name is if I hated my band's name. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna call my band Viet Cong just for that. Whatever band I have, I'm gonna call it Viet Cong. A, because it's cool. B, because it brings to mind torture.
Yes, it does. And speaking of Nazis not changing, Bound for Glory, U.S. neo-Nazi metal band, is heading for Edinburgh.
Edinburgh,
whatever.
It's the welcome to the Dr. Martin dental plan.
Mm-hmm. Hundreds of neo-Nazis are set to descend on the Capitol later this year for a secret gig. American thrash metal band Bound for Glory, one of the oldest and best-known groups on the Nazi music scene,
and one of the best.
Yeah, have been linked to a concert expected to take place in Edinburgh on October 22nd. And campaigners have warned that if the gig goes ahead, it could see as many as 700 neo-Nazis flock to the city from as far as Germany.
Damn.
Oh, fuck. It is not yet known where the concert will take place, but a poster for the event temporarily released on Facebook shows tickets being sold in advance for £30. Anti-fascist activists said it was standard price for the gig's location to be kept secret. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. In order to prevent it from being shut down by protesters or even the venue owners, who often have no idea as to the true nature of the concert they have booked.
See, I'm always for freedom of speech, so I think, I'm for freedom of speech regardless of how toxic it is, so,
Yeah, I suppose that way you can call people idiots for it. Ugh.
But no,
the more you censor it, the more tempting it seems to outsiders.
we'd rather protest it and get it shut down, and then have everyone see. Look, everyone, we really are being persecuted.
Ah,
See,
yes.
I,
Self-fulfilling prophecy there. Enjoy.
and that's why I go up against people who want to ban Islam or want to ban things about Islam because, as I said before, all you're doing is giving them ample reason.
Mm-hmm. Ample reason to gain sympathy, so you get more nut jobs that want to fucking blow shit up. And you know, anyone that's actually sane and rational will be pushed off to the side for that.
But people don't listen to it, and people just, well, we have to ban him because, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Far-right punters are instead given somewhere they can meet, such as a nearby pub before heading to the event. Nick Lowell, director of Hope Not Hate, the campaign group who uncovered the upcoming gig, said it would be the biggest neo-Nazi music gathering to ever take place in Scotland. He said Bound for Glory are probably the biggest U.S. Nazi band. Their lyrics and song titles have close association with Hitler's Nazis.
Yeah. By the way, I finally heard something that I wish I had never heard. Nazi deathcore.
Oh God, that sounds like it sucks.
it's the shittest thing I've ever heard. It's like deathcore, only like worse, and with Hitler speeches. It's if you can imagine deathcore with Hitler samples.
Deathcore is bad enough. The idea that there would be 600 to 700 Nazis in Edinburgh should be a concern. I certainly think there's a real law and order problem because the vast majority of people are going to be coming in from outside the area. So they are going to be staying in a hotel and hostels. Before and after the gig, they will be drinking and fueled up. I think there's a severe risk of people being attacked. Welcome to the world you breed.
Yep.
It's the biggest Nazi gig in Britain for quite some time, and certainly in Scotland. It's for the authorities to decide if they want it to happen. Part of the reason we blew the whistle on it so early was to allow the authorities to stop the band from coming to the UK. And you do that, you give them more credence, and then guess how many of the attacks go up.
Yep.
And you even get some brand new converts out of that kind of shit. Enjoy the world you create.
Which, okay, can I just say, it's funny because I openly listen to this band and others like them, and I'm, called, an evil Nazi. Jim, am I a Nazi or even right-wing?
No.
So it's just funny because, people, how can you listen to this and not, it's like, because it's good.
Well, it's moral absolutism. You have to be 100% everything against everything with absolutely no openness of mind. Just blindly accept everything straight down the line with no deviance. And the moment you deviate just a micrometer, oh my God, you're the fucking worst evil thing there is. Go fucking burn.
I mean, I'll say this about BFG. They were a decent oi band, and then they kind of kept thrash alive in the 90s. I can't really think of another band who was playing thrash in the 90s that good other than Bound for Glory. So, and they've reunited and released 2 new albums, by the way. They've released 11 albums, and I recommend getting them if you like thrash or punk. I think they need to release another album soon, but that's me. So yeah,
I'm just sitting here thinking. I was just watching some shit, and there was this case study done where this guy was like fucking liberal as fuck, and he went out and he was protesting to get the fucking nukes reduced. Fine dandy. But he started to look into, precautionary measures just in case worst case scenario happened. He's like, well, maybe we should start stockpiling food because, if the big war does happen, to be nice to be prepared for that. Like, oh, you fucking piece of shit, you fucking useless fucking right-wing fucking nut job. What, he still opposes the nukes. He still wants the number of nukes reduced. But the very fact that he wanted to do something reasonable, like stockpile food as a just-in-case measure, they called him a fucking right-wing nutter. And it's 100% cult-like mentality.
And by the way, before we move on, who introduced me to Bound for Glory?
I did.
Yes, thank you. Yes, you played Dr. Martin Dental Plan, and then some moron skipped it.
Yeah, and then we had to go back to it.
Because I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it.
And then I think the day after I got the band's discography because why not? I'm not going to go see them live because I'd be murdered, but
Yeah, I'm not going to go see them live. I didn't even pay for any of the albums I did get back in the day. I had friends pirate them for me. I wasn't going to give them my time, but I liked them.
I have all 11 and the live album, which has their demo on it, which is why I got it. And I got it on Internet Archive, has everything up to when they kind of stopped working in '99, and then I got the last two. So so thanks for getting them. But yeah, I wouldn't know where to find them. Even if I wanted to, I wouldn't know where to get them.
Anyways, I think the sooner that decision is made, you're going to get hundreds of people coming in from Germany and England for a gig. I really think Edinburgh could do without Nazis coming into the city. As soon as the venue is confirmed, we would urge Edinburgh Council to put whatever pressure they can on the venue to stop the gig.
Yep, and then see, we really are being persecuted. See, I told you, and you called me insane.
Fucking shit. I fucking debated these guys so many times. And I even used saying, well, I highly doubt it's going to happen because First Amendment. Well, yeah, you're giving them validity now, and you're fucking smashing so many of my arguments that actually dissuaded them from the group, actually changed their minds. And now you're reinforcing the same shit they threw in my face. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
Yes, it is pretty pathetic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You should see the comments on Last FM. They're hilarious. For Bound for Glory.
Minnesota-based Bound for Glory were formed in 1989 and boast songs with titles such as Behold the Iron Cross, Back in the Fatherland, and The Iron Eagle Flies Again. That Iron Eagle Flies Again is a good one.
That is a good one. I got to listen to it after the show now.
Yeah. The group's original vocalist, Eric Banks, was shot and killed in 1993 in Portland, Oregon. The poster for their first ever Scottish gig shows they will be supported by Enstuf, a German ultra-right rock band from Bremen, among others. Police said they were not aware of the upcoming concert. A council spokesman said, "We are unaware of this, but will liaise with Police Scotland."
I always liked Bound for Glory because they seem to include a lot of punk in their metal. They also did some cool ballads, but they always had this kind of punky side to them. Even when they went full thrash, that was always really cool. I mean, they're kind of the best of both worlds. They're not a Screwdriver clone.
Mm-hmm.
Although, of course, they love Screwdriver, but they're not a Screwdriver clone. That's the problem is so many of these bands are just Screwdriver clones.
Okay.
And I know less about this and more about the NSBM, obviously, but yes, they share a label with Legion of Thor, the Nazi deathcore band I've heard.
Oh, well. Let's go from an offensive band to an offensive act. That is also pretty kick-ass. Loner who drunkenly decapitated pet snakes and ate their heads escapes jail.
See, I don't have the same pity for snakes that I do for like dogs and stuff. So screw snakes.
My question is, does Jennifer Lamp have a fucking dating profile? I'd like to get in contact with her. This sounds hot. Anyways, she was found wearing the headless but still moving bodies of the snakes around her neck when police discovered her.
That does sound kind of hot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we should. You can email me at ellindamood@gmail.com.
Fuck. A loner pet owner who drunkenly decapitated her two snakes with scissors before swallowing their heads has escaped jail. Jennifer Lamp, 28, was discovered by police with still moving but headless body of her boa constrictor around her neck and both reptiles' severed heads in her trouser pockets. She had vomited up the heads after swallowing them. Telling animal inspectors she had wanted to keep them. On Thursday, she was given a 4-month jail term, suspended for 2 years, in what magistrates called an unpleasant, but not to say bizarre, incident of animal cruelty. She was also banned from keeping animals for 5 years. Telford magistrates in Shropshire were also told how weeks before the decapitation, she threw her pet hamster in a fish tank and watched it drown, making too much noise in the night. I kind of like.
I wanted to do that to certain people.
See, I'm kind of split. I kind of like rodents, but that was a hamster.
I had hamsters before. They died. They were useless.
Mm-hmm. And guinea pigs are much more entertaining, in my opinion.
Yes, but I want to use you as a human guinea pig.
RSPCA prosecutor Roger Price told courts she then put the dead hamster in a chest freezer, but its contents were later emptied. On another occasion, she admitted to putting an unwanted cat in a carrier bag, taking it on a long bus ride, then releasing the animal.
Well, it's better than killing it.
Yeah, she released the animal out in the middle of the country. That's what a lot of people do.
Then again, I don't think the cat was very happy about this. Why am I in a fucking bag?
She had twice tried to rid herself of the cat, having successfully disposed of a second cat, which she dumped behind a fence. Oh, that's sad.
I don't know. I know people who did that. The cat landed on it. My friend did that because the cat was basically annoying the dogs and he just couldn't get rid of it. So he didn't mean to throw it over the fence. It just kind of leaped. I mean, I was there. He didn't mean to throw it. It just leaped over the fence and landed on his feet. And,
Okay, well, if it lived, then that's fine.
his next door neighbor took it, and well, he didn't want, but it was really annoying his dogs and shit.
Mr. Price said Lamp killed the 2-meter boa constrictor and a smaller ball python on April 8th because she feared she was set to be made homeless and would be unable to look after them. Lamp of Market Drayton had already pleaded guilty to causing unnecessary suffering to the snakes by doing an act, namely cutting their heads off, contrary to the 2006 Animal Welfare Act.
Reptiles suck.
Mr. Price told the court she committed the offense at her sister's house in Church Stretton, Shropshire, on April 8th after drinking several cans of lager and shots of amaretto and whiskey.
Good times.
He said the defendant had been living with her sister since May last year, but killed the snakes because she feared she was no longer welcome and did not think her sibling would take proper care of the pets. So it's a mercy killing.
I don't think she's welcome now.
Mm-hmm.
You kill snakes in someone's house, you're not really welcome.
Yeah. Mr. Price added that Lamp's dislike of her sister's boyfriend had caused friction which came to a head on the day of the incident.
Yay. Come to America. You can live with me.
Yay. Lamp became agitated, yelling and swearing, and took a pair of scissors and a knife up to her bedroom where the snakes were. Mr. Price said when her sister saw the defendant in her bedroom, she had a boa constrictor under her top and was covered in blood. She's wearing them on her naked body.
That's a picture I want.
About 3/4 of the snake could be seen. The defendant was hysterical. Her sister, who was in court to support Lamp, called police.
That is a picture I want.
Mr. Price said when officers turned up, they found a visibly upset Lamp with a long headless snake draped around her neck. The second snake's body was found upstairs in her bedroom. Mr. Price added she believed she would be homeless and did not want to leave the snakes with her sister. We get that. A vet confirmed the snakes had probably been decapitated with scissors, but concluded the death of the snakes was not swift, with signs of several attempts to cut through the animals' necks. Mr. Price said the vet also found the snake's suffering was prolonged and painful, and remarked that reptiles' heads can remain operable up to an hour after decapitation, meaning they could have been aware as Lamp swallowed them.
I believe I'm being swallowed here. Oh, damn me, I'm being vomited full.
In an interview, she told the RSPCA investigator the small head of the ball python went down easily, but she had trouble with the larger boa constrictor.
That's, you know what? You wash it down with more beer. Oh.
Apparently. Mr. Price said she managed to swallow them both but vomited them up. Sarah Cooper, representing Lamp, said her client was a vulnerable loner who had some mental health problems, you think.
No, this sounds completely sane to me, and this is why I can't go out in public anymore.
A drink problem, was currently taking antidepressants.
Yeah, antidepressants do more harm than good. That's what I've realized.
She said it was a bizarre set of circumstances.
You think? No, there's nothing bizarre about this.
Needless to say, the animals have suffered. They shouldn't have. She knows that. Chairman of the bench, Sue Tyrrell, sentencing said, I am sure you are aware. It has to be said this is rather unpleasant, not to say bizarre incident. She added that despite the seriousness of the offense, magistrates would suspend the sentence.
Well, look at it this way. They suffered, but they're not suffering anymore.
What
would you rather be? Suffering forever, or can you suffer, but their suffering is over. Their suffering is long past, and they'll never have to suffer again. And that is my excuse for genocide.
You will address the many issues you have which led to this offense and hopefully prevent you offending again.
See, I just don't care about this. I mean, but because I had a bad experience with a snake once, and I loathe those creatures.
See, I like snakes, but this is just too fucked up, you know.
I don't support reptiles and amphibians because snakes hate me. And anything that could, try to strangle the life out of me, I don't like. So, fuck it.
Well, more news about animals.
Besides that picture of her, with the fucking snakes on her neck.
Yeah, that does sound hot, though. Even though I like snakes. Anyways, more animal news. Jenna Louise Driscoll, 26, has pleaded guilty to 3 counts of bestiality.
Ready? Fucking an animal. Fucking an animal.
Jenna, 26, faced Brisbane District Court on Thursday, where she also entered guilty pleas to the 3 drug-related matters. She is expected to be sentenced on November 3rd. After her arrest in October 2014, the Courier Mail reported police discovered a cache of dirty videos in which she allegedly had sex with a dog. Her phone was searched after she was arrested for suspected drug trafficking. At a previous court hearing, prosecutors alleged Driscoll arranged for 4 ounces of cannabis to be sold for $1,150.
4
On another
ounces?
occasion,
Jeez. That's not a lot.
on another occasion, she sold 3 ounces for $900. Police investigating the trafficking offense allegedly came across the videos on the woman's phone that showed her having sex with a dog.
Yeah. Acro-bestial anal butt sex. Yeah.
Oh, God. No, let's not stop there.
That's not, because why not stop there? That I just have nothing to say about that other than bleh.
How about sex robots in virtual reality could stop pedophiles offending against real-life children, say experts?
We've already read this.
We have?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Okay, then it is gone.
Anarcha showed it. Sorry, everyone. Basically, it was. That's what it was. It was robots designed like kids, and basically it was.
Okay.
Yeah, we did it because
I remember now.
Because we also did that, and we also did something about dolls. So we basically, so it was, yeah, we killed 2 birds with 1 stone, and I know there was some controversy about that because people were talking about, well, wouldn't it just like make them want the real thing? And you said no, and you know.
Yeah, okay, I remember now.
Yeah, sorry everyone. If you'd like to hear that, look back on one of the shows when we were still called PTR, and then kill yourself when you hear Anarcha's voice.
But we could have done it again without his voice. But anyway.
Yeah, but I don't want to retread things.
Man suspected of having sex with a van.
He's a real car lover. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
A man in Dayton, Ohio is facing indecency charges after witnesses reported seeing him attempt to have sex at the front grille of a van parked on the street. Fuck.
I have a car. Why not a sports car? Why a van?
I don't know. Maybe it was sexier. I don't care.
Well, some people like the older women or the bigger, like me. So
Officers responding to a call Tuesday evening found the suspect, 35-year-old Michael Henson, wearing only a pair of black shorts and black shoes, according to NBC4i.com, which cited a police report. Henson was taken into custody and put in the back of a squad car while officers spoke to
he's trying to have sex with it.
He might have. I'm having sex in your car. She said she saw Henson pull down his shorts and then put his genitals into the front grille of a red van parked on the side of the road.
Now, I want to know what van it was, because that would be some great promotion. Chevy. It's so good it makes people want to have sex with it.
Yeah. When the suspect passed out the front yard near the van, the woman called police. Henson woke up and was walking before police came to the scene, according to the Dayton Daily News.
That's why you should only do that at 3 in the morning when no one's looking.
Yeah. Officers who questioned him said he appeared to be intoxicated.
No, really?
Police contacted the owner of the van, who allegedly said he was unaware of any incident.
And the van, unfortunately, couldn't be reached for comment.
I'm just reminded of this one time whenever we were all fucking high up and this one guy was annoying us, and we're like, go fuck the stove, over and over again. And then he went out to the kitchen, screamed, came back, and said, ouch, that hurt.
Which was it, the worthless piece of shit?
No, this was some other guy. He was some random hillbilly we knew.
By the way, if you'd like to hear more stories about that, Jim's finally divided up all of the war stories without the war and included them into one lovely playlist. You can also watch the long videos if you want to, but I
The
prefer
long
watching...
videos are down now.
Oh, you fucker.
Yeah.
I loathe you.
Good.
But I recommend watching the horror stories without the wars thing because it was fun.
Yeah, and I'll be adding more to that playlist whenever we get around to bullshitting more.
Yes.
Henson was booked on public indecency charges and taken to the Montgomery County Jail, where he remained on a $2,500 bond until his arraignment on Wednesday, according to the Dayton Daily News.
I was having fun.
Beautiful. So much fun.
I was enjoying myself, and then you came and ruined it.
That's right, until I passed out the lawn.
Who hasn't passed out on a lawn before?
Oh, God. Moving on to Texas here.
Texas.
A woman in Texas enslaved 2 Mexican immigrants for 14 years and told them she was the voice of God.
I'm God. Now clean out the kitchen. God says clean out the kitchen. Of course, the person who posted was like, "Oh, how horrible!" And yes, it's horrible. But when I wrote my little comment, I got blocked.
Yeah. Federal jury last week convicted a Texas woman of illegally harboring undocumented Mexican women and forcing them to work as slaves in her home, cleaning businesses for nearly a decade and a half. As the voice of God. Lovely.
The God of emptiness.
According to a statement from U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, Olga Sandra Murrah, 64, was found guilty of 2 counts of forced labor and 2 counts of harboring an illegal alien. Born in Mexico, Murrah moved to the United States in 1997, bringing with her a woman identified only as VR. We are VR troopers. As she settled first in El Paso and then Fort Worth, according to ICE. The following year, Murrah arranged to have another woman identified as IG.
IG, motherfucker. Yo, we're rolling with the fucking gangsters.
I was thinking more of the bank, but okay.
Yeah, fuck you.
Transported in the U.S. She kept both women's identification documents. Once in the country, both women were put to work by Murrah, cleaning 3 to 4 homes per day, up to 7 days per week, ICE said. They were also required to clean Murrah's personal residence and cook her meals, despite being fed only bread and water themselves. They were not paid for their labor and were forced to turn over all money and earnings from their house cleaning to Murrah. For a short time, Murrah also provided IG with false ID papers, allowing her to take several service industry jobs alongside her in home cleaning work. Fuck.
That's brutal.
Just make money for me.
Make money for me, for I am the voice of God.
Both IG and VR slept on the bedroom floor of Murrah's residence, but were occasionally forced to relocate to the garage, laundry room, or even the yard as punishment. They were not allowed to speak. They were not allowed to speak with anyone else and were even required to ask permission to use the restrooms. Oh, God, what? Did you just want to fucking sit there and watch them piss and shit themselves?
Some people like that sort of thing.
I know, my dad did.
Yes, I know. You've told me many a story about your brilliant father.
Murrah maintained control over the enslaved women with a combination of implied and, on at least one occasion, actual violence and religious conditioning. Murrah represented herself to the women as the voice of God on earth and required them to listen to religious recordings of Murrah reading Bible verses and discussing their meaning while they cleaned homes. So you can't even listen to music while you're cleaning. You gotta listen to this crap. I'm gonna get my hands on those tapes just because it's probably fucking really whack job shit.
Yes, that would be great. Somebody find those for us. If you'd like to help find these tapes for Swine Brothers, email us ellindamood@gmail.com.
They're gonna be entered as evidence anyway, so hopefully they don't keep it in a sealed bag.
Hopefully it'll enter the fucking public domain.
Yes. She caused both women to believe that they would go to hell if they did not obey her.
Wouldn't it be great to have a cult like that? You'll go to hell if you don't obey me. If you don't make me a sandwich, you'll go to hell.
I'd rather threaten people with heaven.
If you don't make me a salami and cheese sandwich with mayonnaise, you'll go to heaven.
That's right.
Yeah, but the only problem is a lot of people want to go to heaven, so you'll never get your fucking sandwich.
So that's why you gotta build up heaven to be a real shithole that's boring.
And you better make it triple decker too. I want a lot of food. God, I made myself hungry. Thanks.
She also threatened to call immigration officials, reportedly telling women they would be killed, buried in a field with other illegal aliens.
I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't think that's ever happened.
No, they don't do that when they raid homes, usually.
Usually, except for the ones that go missing, obviously.
Maybe, I don't know. According to data compiled by the by Polaris, an organization that works to track the.
Wait. Is it spelled the same? How's it spelled?
Polaris.
That's funny. Because, Polaris makes, motorcycles and rockets and shit.
Yeah. Anyways, they work to end human trafficking and slave labor around the world. Ooh.
Wake up, damn you.
721 of the 5,544 cases of trafficking reported in the National Human Trafficking Resource Center involved labor trafficking, second only to incidents of sex slavery for the year.
Sex cults.
Between 2007 and 2015, domestic work was the most frequently reported type of labor trafficking, with Mexico the country referenced most frequently in international cases.
Beautiful.
Murrah is scheduled to face sentencing in November. Given the maximum penalty for each charge, she could face 60 years in prison and be forced to pay $1 million in fines.
You know what I always thought they should have done, rather than just, because what they really mean is life in prison. But I think what they should do is, let's say, if you 200 years in prison, basically after you rot, you're just left in the prison cell for 150 more years. No one could do anything with that prison cell. Just as the fucking finally after okay, you're free to go. Unfortunately, you're a skeleton in some dust. But
fucking shit. We have killer college student found eating victim's face and growling like an animal.
Growling like an animal. Sorry. Yes, this person finally who went cool.
Oh yeah.
Face.
Anyways, Austin Haroff an athletic and well-liked 19-year-old Florida State University
Anymore.
student,
Oh, yes, and this is from Florida.
was eating
Florida
man.
Yeah.
He was eating dinner with his parents at a local sports bar in Jupiter, Florida, when he apparently got angry about something and stormed out in a huff. He then walked towards his father's home, but for unknown reasons went to a different house, one street over, where he encountered Michelle Mishkin, 53, and her husband, John Stevens, 59. They were sitting in their garage with the door lifted up. Haroff then allegedly stabbed the couple to death with a switchblade and other weapons of opportunity.
This sounds exactly like your friend Jim, Crazy Louie.
Mm-hmm.
This must be Crazy Louie's son.
Yeah. When a neighbor tried to intervene and called 911, he was stabbed too.
Yeah, it's like in Pathfinder. What did you say, Jim? Kill all witnesses.
Mm-hmm. That's what you did.
That's what I did, and I got away with it. And I was a hero up till the priest caught me eating the what was it, the demon girl, and then they finished him off.
But here's the really creepy part, though. When police arrived, they found Haroff grunting and growling and making animal noises over one of the bodies. He was also tearing chunks of them out of the man's face with his teeth. Cops discharged their stun guns at Haroff multiple times but weren't able to pull him from the man. A police dog couldn't stop Haroff either. Eventually, it took 3 cops to pull him away. The neighbor, who survived the attack, reportedly underwent surgery today.
And then after he was pulled off, he went, "Hey, I was eating dinner."
The suspect in a double homicide this morning was exhibiting abnormal levels of strength when deputies on the scene attempted to pull him from the male victim. The deputy arrived on scene and deployed a taser. The suspect was atop the victim, who had substantial trauma to his face due to bite marks.
Sweet.
Oh, God.
Sweet. If you're going to go insane or go on some sort of drugged out rampage, do it right. Do it like this person.
According to Heavy, Haroff was a happy, well-liked athlete at his school.
Yay! That's so great. Happy, well, oh my God! It's like the valorous thing. That it's like, I was the brave, heroic, valorous, and the priest. What are you doing?
Ah! Haroff was a high school football and wrestling star at Suncoast Community High School in Riviera Beach. He played as defensive tackle, according to his Huddle page. He says on his Facebook page he is a native of Jupiter, Florida. Local 10 reports that he lives with his mother close to where the killings took place. One of his football teammates, John Lonsberry, told Palm Beach Post that Haroff barely spoke, and when he did, it was always yes, sir, or no, sir. One of those kinds.
No, I couldn't tell he was going to snap.
Yeah. He was a great kid and did a lot of good things for us on the D-line. It's crazy to think that he was sober and did that. We had to beg him to be more physical on the field. He was a fun kid, and I was looking forward to seeing him at FSU this fall. He certainly had an impact on me.
People usually say yes, sir, and no, sir, and that's it. Really aren't what I call fun. People usually say, "Yeah, I would, but I'm too busy smoking Fruit Loops." Those are fun.
Currently, Haroff is in Palm Beach Hospital, where his condition has deteriorated, and it is not known whether he will survive. Sheriff William Snyder spoke about the case today at a news conference late this afternoon. Snyder also said, "We may absolutely never know why Haroff attacked John and Michelle Stevens. Of course, one can't help but to recall the smaller case in 2012 of a man, Randy Eugene, who was caught eating the face of a homeless man near the local highway. Eating people's faces must be a Florida thing."
Eating faces. Why do you think death metal, like, proliferated in Florida?
Uh-huh.
That's all they do is they eat faces and play loud music.
Two strange cases of face-eating, zombie-like freaks with superhuman strength, both in the South Florida area. Feels like the beginning of a horror movie.
Wouldn't that be cool if it was, though? I mean,
Yeah.
wouldn't it be awesome if you just like all of a sudden got like superhuman strength? It's fucking. I'm gonna guess he was on some sort of drug.
It said he was sober, so no.
No, it said that his friend said that.
It'd be nice if he was, though.
What? If you're nice if you're sober?
Yeah.
It would be, but I don't think so. Or maybe he just completely snapped because he was too busy. He was too tired of saying yes and no, sir. And just went, must kill.
Anyways, from one type of insanity to another.
Insanity.
This 66-year-old woman. This 66-year-old woman is suing all gay people. Yes, all.
Yes. I saw this and just thought, oh, you would love it. Yeah.
Nebraska's Sylvia Driscoll will represent herself in Driscoll versus homosexuals. Oh, God!
I was waiting for something like this to happen.
Oh, God, this is fucking nuts.
But it's great, though.
I know.
It's wonderful.
A Nebraska woman is suing every last gay person on earth and asking a federal judge to rule on whether homosexuality is a sin.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
What is a sin? I mean, in my book, not listening to metal is a sin. So, that's my holy book, or unholy book.
Yeah.
I should write my own unholy tome.
Anyways, Driscoll, 66, describes herself as an ambassador of God and his son, Jesus Christ, and all that other happy horse shit.
I would describe you as out of your fucking tree.
And will serve as her own lawyer in Driscoll versus homosexuals. In her 7-page petition.
I hope this gets a fucking court date.
Written entirely in cursive, Driscoll doesn't reference any case laws for U.S. District Judge John M. Jarrett to consider, but she does quote the Bible and Webster's dictionary.
And it's written in cursive, by the way.
Yes, written entirely in cursive.
Which isn't that what fucking kids do?
Oh, God. I write like that whenever I try to really speed things up, but fuck.
I just fucking type on the fucking computer.
I never thought that I would see a day in which our great nation or our own great state of Nebraska would become so compliant to the complicity of some people's lewd behavior. That homosexuality is a sin, and that they are the homosexuals know it is a sin to live a life of homosexuality.
Dude, if this ever gets a court date, which it won't, unfortunately, but if it ever did, I would raise the money to ship someone there, even myself, and we would cover it live.
Why else would they have been hiding in the closet?
God.
Fuck.
Christians are a bit nuts, though.
Oh, God. Gay activist and columnist Damn Savage, one of the many millions of people being sued, has signaled he'd be willing to take the stand.
You know, I don't like Dan Savage. Not for that, but just comes off as a piece of shit. But it's like, okay, there are two people named Savage, Dan and Michael Savage, and Michael Savage, of course, is the ultra right wing, and Dan Savage. But they're both thoroughly repulsive human beings.
Oh, yeah.
I want to know what Dave from MDC has to say about this because he's being sued as well.
Yeah. Anyways, a man poses as delivery driver, stealing cases of beer.
This is possibly the best thing I've ever read. I tip my hat to this person. I don't wear a hat, but I tip it to this person.
An Alabama man is wanted for a clever grocery store scam. Central Alabama's Crime Stoppers said Darius Williams, 22, posed as a delivery driver and entered grocery stores with a large cart. He loaded the cart with cases of beer and soda and rolled the cart out of the store, where he placed the items in his car and drove away.
That's fucking blatant too. It's not even like, oh, I like this guy.
It's not just blatant, but he's also dressed up like a worker, so they suspect he's trying to set up displays and he might be refreshing stock.
This sounds like something my friend would have talked me into doing. Dude, okay, look. Here's what we're going to do, right? I got this delivery uniform, right? I would just be like, okay. I would go along with it.
Williams wears a uniform and has been convincing enough to fool several store managers in the area. Williams is wanted on 4 counts of theft of property.
See, the problem is he did it. The problem is he did it a little too close to the area. What I would have done is I would have spread out. Maybe I do the home store first. Maybe 20, 30, 40 miles away, someplace that's kind of far away. But, if you're going to be a good criminal, you got to do it. You got to think realistically. You can't just, well, I'll do this, then I'll do the store next to it. No, you got to go. You got to drive an hour and a half out of town. It sucks, but, if you don't want to pay, then,
Yeah.
Swine Brothers advocates stealing beer and consuming it.
I think that is all we got.
What are you going to go steal some beer?
Yeah.
A bit short, but it's been a good episode.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been the Swine Brothers. That is really annoying. This has been the Swine Brothers Show, episode 104 for the 20th of August, 2015. Stop blowing into the fucking microphone.
Okay.
You can email the show at ellindamood@gmail.com if you are some sort of sociopathic British girl who decapitates snakes. Or if you would like to go on a beer stealing expedition with us. Of course, Facebook is Swine Brothers and Twitter's Swine Bros 666. For my co-host and metal expert and other guy and Megadeth fan Jim, no Chaz today, so he doesn't get a mention. I am your host, Ellindamood. We'll see you Monday.
You don't get a nose this beautiful without having it broken a few times.